All right, welcome everybody for the second game. The umpires are back ready to go. You'll notice the pink on the umpire. We have some relay for live activities going on. Second game of the day, the Blue Devils took the first two yesterday at KCK 1-0 and 12-0, 12-0, 1-0. They took the first game today 6-1. So the final game of this 4-game series getting ready to take place, and we'll be back with that shortly. All right, on the mound for the Panthers, number 42, Cameron Robertson. He has a 4-2 record with a 5.93 ERA. He is from Galena, Missouri, and he will be on the mound for the Panthers. All right, we are about ready to start here. The Blue Devils will go with short turnaround on getting all the information. Basler, Mervosh, Golbeck, Patterson, Santiago, Dirks, Nolan the fourth, Olson, and Kern, with Caleb Deere on the mound. So we are down to the final 9-inning game. This one will be a scheduled 9-inning game for the final game of this 4-game series. Windy and cool. Most would say cold. I know that my wife would say cold rather than cool, and it's pretty cool up here in the top of the bleachers. There's no protection from the wind, and the wind is coming from the north, and Basler steps in for the Blue Devils, and there he fouls that one back and out of play. So 0-1 the count on him. There's a strike on the outside corner as well. Basler was 0 for 4 in the first game with 3 strikeouts and a line out, and there he's going to be hit by a pitch and will hit down to first. So that will bring up Mervosh. See if we've got everything going here like we're supposed to. Thank you for the help in the first game. When the sound wasn't coming through, there's the first pitch, a strike to Mervosh. Mervosh was 0 for 4 in the first game with a couple of strikeouts, a fly out, and a ground out. So a runner at first base. There's a hard hit ball at the third baseman, Westerman. And Westerman over to Rodriguez and Custer for the double play. So the 5-4-3 double play erases the hit by pitch. And that's going to bring up Garrett Golbeck. Golbeck was 3 for 4 in the first game. He had a couple of bunt hits, a base hit up the middle, and a fly out. So 3 for 4 during the first game for Golbeck. There's a strike on the outside corner. So we are going again a little bit fast and furious. Welcome back to the second game. Blue Devils took the first 3, 2 yesterday and the first one today, so they're going for the sweep here. 1-1 the count on Goldback. There's a strike, catches the outside corner, so 1-2 the count on Garrett Goldback. That's way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Goldback tight on the plate. A little bit of an open stance. And there's a ball headed down the right field line. He just got in front of it enough. A line drive would have been extra bases, but not quite fair. So we'll do the 2-2 again. Strike 3 called. No runs, no hits. We go to the bottom of the first. No score. I'll be back. All right, to the bottom of the first we go. Beck, Moore, and Custer scheduled up. Caleb Deere on the mound. He's from Overland Park, Kansas. No decision yet, win or loss this year, with a 4.70 ERA. First pitch to Beck is through there for a strike. Beck was 1 for 4 with a base hit in the first game. Squares to bunt, and the ball goes back through. Shoot, I thought it hit him, but not. He had a line out, a fly out, and a ground out did Beck. So 1-1 the count on him as he leads things off here for the Panthers. Squares to bunt, and that's going to be foul. Nolan the fourth, Kernan Dirks across the outfield. Mervosh, Goldback, Basler, and Santiago across the infield. That's going to be out of play down the right field line. Olson will be behind the plate, so Patterson will become the designated hitter. 1-2 the count on Beck. And a swing, check swing, but a miss. And the throw down to first by Olson to finish the strikeout. That's going to bring up Cody Moore, the catcher. He was 1 for 3 in the first game, had a base hit, a strikeout, and a ground out. In that order, and there's a ball headed into center field, and Kern hustles over to the right side into right center to take care of that for the second out of the inning. So that'll bring up the first baseman, Cam Custer. Custer struck out 3 times in the first game, so he'll be looking to get off of that. And Caleb Deere will hope to keep him striking out. There's a breaking ball right across there for strike 1, the count. So 0-1 on the first baseman, Cam Custer. There's a ball headed into left center. On the run is Nolan the fourth, so Custer hits it hard, and so does Moore, but come up empty. So we go to the top of the second inning, no score. All right, here we go. Top of the second inning. I've got a little bookwork to do. Things get kind of fast and furious here. Top of the second inning we go. Scheduled up will be, there's a strike on the outside corner. Patterson, Santiago, and Dirks. Patterson caught the first game, designated hitter here in the second game. Patterson was 1 for 3, was hit by a pitch. That's going to be over toward and out of play behind the first base dugout. Was hit by a pitch, had a ground out, a fly out, and a base hit, so 1 for 3 officially. 0-2 the count on Patterson, the designated hitter. There's a ground ball that's going to be foul. Coach Goldbeck handles it, tosses it into the dugout for the foul ball. We'll do the 0-2 again. Breaking ball, and that one's going to be closer to staying in play, but it is on top of the dugout. So a couple of foul balls headed over here behind the dugout of the first base side where the Royals, where the KCK Blue Devils are stationed. Comes the 0-2. Foul ball back and over the top of me. Nice stadium here, not a press box of any kind. They do their press box work from the facility that's built into their dugout. That's outside and in the dirt. One and two the count now. Just a little bit low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out as Brady Patterson leads off the top of the second inning for the Blue Devils here in Chanute, Kansas. That's up high, and he drills it deep to left field. On the run is the left fielder, Brady, to take care of that for the first out of the inning. That brings up Frankie Santiago. Santiago was 2 for 4 in the first game. Had a line out, a ground out, and a couple of base hits, one of them for 2 RBI. So he had 2 of the 6 RBI in the first game. He takes outside ball 1, 1-0 the count. Pulls that one way foul and way across the road and way down the way. Right field line has a major avenue through here. There's a ground ball headed at the first baseman. Custer picks that up and underhands it to the pitcher Robertson for the 3-1 ground out. That will bring up Marcus Dirks, the right fielder. Dirks was 1 for 2 in the first game. Had a walk, a sac, bunt. And then he had a bunt hit for an RBI and grounded out. So he had 1 of the 6 RBI in that first game, as well as a sac bunt in addition to that bunt hit. That's outside. So 2-0 the count. On Marcus Dirks, the right fielder for the Blue Devils. Way outside, so 3-0 the count. And there's ball 4. Not sure if that was ball 4 or hit by a pitch. Thank you. So, base on balls, had the guys here charting in front of me help me out with that. It's going to bring up Nolan the 4th. He'll step in with 2 outs and a runner at first base. There's a strike called. Nolan the 4th had 3 of the 6 RBI. He had a ground out and a walk, a double, actually 2 doubles, one with 2 RBI, one with 1 RBI. There's a fair ball into the corner. That's going to be extra bases for Nolan the 4th, and Dirks will come around to score for the first run of this second game. So right across the top of the bag with that one for an RBI, and the Blue Devils have taken a 1-0 lead. That's going to bring up Derek Olson. Olson will step in for his first at bat today. He will step in. He catches this game. There's a strike called. Olson starts the day batting .500. That .500 comes with 20 at bats. There's a ground ball headed it back, backs up with it, and over to first for the 6-3 ground out. So the Blue Devils get 1 run on 1 hit. We go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. The Blue Devils leading 1-0. All right, here we go. Bottom of the 2nd inning. Blue Devils scored 1 in the top of the 2nd. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. Scheduled up is Fry, Rodriguez, and Brady for the Panthers. Fry, the right fielder, will step in to lead things off here in the 2nd. Fry was 0 for 1 in the first game, had a couple of walks, and grounded out to Santiago at first base. There's a strike right through there. Started coming at him and breaks right across the inside part of the plate. 0-1 the count on Brendan Fry. There's strike 2. There's a ground ball that's going to be taken by Santiago. He'll step on the bag for the first out of the inning. So Fry stays with the ground ball to first base. That's going to bring up Gilbert Rodriguez, the second baseman. He was 0 for 3 with a couple of ground outs and a strikeout in the first game. There's a swing and a miss of that pitch. Breaking inside toward the end, and he came up empty with that swing. So 0-1 the count. Another swing and a miss inside part of the plate at the knees. Good positioning of those pitches. 0-2 the count. Just a little bit high and outside. 1-2 the count. Caleb Deere on the mound for the Blue Devils. Just a little bit outside, 2-2 the count. Blue Devils took the first 2 games yesterday, 1-0 and 10-0. They won the first game here today, 6-1. Final game of the 4-game series. That's inside. 3-2 the count now. So from 0-2 to 3-2. It's a foul ball out of play. Actually stayed inside the stadium, but foul. Santiago retrieval service. We'll do the 3-2 again. Just misses a little bit outside, so a base on balls to Gilbert Rodriguez, the second baseman, and that's going to bring up Davin Brady, the center fielder. Brady had 1 for 3 in the first game, a couple of outs in the air, and a double. Hit the wall in left field. That's outside, 1-0 the count. Runner at first base with 1 out. Center fielder Brady at the plate. There's a fly ball headed down the right field line, and it's going to go foul. Started out fair, but the wind blowing so hard from the north. That could have been trouble, but the wind pushed it foul. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out to Davin Brady. Misses outside. 2-1 the count now. Swing and a miss. So 2-2 now. Windy, overcast, cool/cold day in Chanute, Kansas. Final game of the doubleheader. Runner goes, and a swing and a miss, and we're going to get an out and an out because on the strikeout, Brady over across the plate, and so the interference call is going to make the third out of the inning. So we go. No runs on, no hits there. And we go to the top of the third inning with the Blue Devils leading 1-0. All right, here we go to the top of the third inning. Kern, Basler, and Mervosh scheduled up. Kern will lead things off here against Robertson. He's back for another inning of work. There's a line drive, and that's caught by Westerman. He hit it hard, did Kern. Kern was 1 for 3 with a base hit in the first game. So back to the top of the order, and Peyton Basler. Basler is from Lansing, Kansas. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. It's outside for ball one. 1-0 the count. To the second baseman, Peyton Basler. There's a base hit, a one-hop grounder to Custer. Custer steps on the bag for the second out of the inning. It's going to bring up Mervosh. Mervosh is from Lenexa, Kansas. He'll be up there with 2 outs and nobody on. There's a strike right through there, 0-1 the count. Way outside, 1-1 the count. High and inside, 2-1 the count. Mervosh hit into a 5-4-3 double play. Westerman to Rodriguez to Custer in the first inning. There's a ground ball that's taken by Westerman and short hop over to Custer. Custer digs it out for the 5-3 ground out. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Blue Devils leading 1-0. All right, to the bottom of the third we go. Westerman, Kieser, and Hanneberg scheduled up. Westerman was 0 for 3 in the first game. A couple of ground outs, and he reached on an error on one of the ground balls. The third one, there's a strike right through there. So 0-1 the count on Luke Westerman, third baseman. Swing and a miss. So quickly 0-2 the count. In the dirt. 1-2 the count. One ball, 2 strikes. Strike 3 called. Breaking ball comes outside in for the strikeout. That's going to bring up Dallas Kieser. Be the first at bat for Kieser as the designated hitter. Low and outside, 1-0 the count. Keyser starts the day batting 167. Be the designated hitter in this one. There's a strike called. 1-1 the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1 run lead on 1 hit. Lots of ones on the board for this game so far. Swing and a miss, so 1-2 the count. Dallas Keyser. There's a hit by pitch. It's going to bring up Hannibird. Hannibird was 0 for 3 in the first game, had a couple of strikeouts and grounded into a double play. There's a throw over to first, nothing going on over there. Breaking ball stays outside. 1-0 the count. On the left fielder, Reed Hannibird. That catches the outside corner. 1-1 the count now. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. It's a ground ball headed at Basler. Basler's going to tag the runner coming by. And over to Santiago for the double play. We go to the top of the 4th inning. Blue Devils leading 1-0. I'll be back. All right, top of the 4th inning we go. Goldbeck, Patterson, and Santiago scheduled up. Goldbeck is from Kansas City, Kansas. He was called out on strikes his first time up. There's a strike, bottom part of the zone right down the middle. Oh, and 1 the count. Way high and outside. Robertson back for another inning of work. High and outside again. Defense behind Robertson is Hannibird, Brady, and Fry. Across the outfield, Westerman, Beck, Rodriguez, and Custer across the infield. Moore behind the plate, Robertson on the mound. There's a high fly ball into shallow left field. That's going to be taken by the shortstop, Beck. It's going to bring up Patterson. Patterson is from Auburn, Kansas. He flew out to Brady in left center his first time in this game. That misses a little bit inside. 1-0 the count on the designated hitter, Brady Patterson. Ground ball down past Coach Goldbeck. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. There's a hit by pitch. That will bring up Frankie Santiago, the first baseman. Santiago will face the righty from the left-handed side as a switch hitter. He is from Calle, Puerto Rico. One and 0 the count on him. Runner at first, 1 out. That's outside. Two balls and no strikes now. 1 out, 1 on. There's a ball headed into the gap in right center. It's going to send Patterson over to third. So the base hit by Santiago plugs the gap for a single in right center. That's going to bring up Dirks. Dirks will be up there with 1 out and runners at first and third. Dirks is from Kansas City, Kansas. In tight at third base, in onto the green part of the artificial turf, expecting the possibility of a bunt. He squares to bunt and pulls back. Dirks reached on a base on balls his first time up. 1-0 the count. And the bunt is down and gonna get the out, and the out is good. But the sac bunt scores the run. Patterson scores on the sac bunt by Dirks. That's going to bring up Nolan the fourth. Blue Devils now with a 2-0 lead. Way out in the dirt. Nicely done by the catcher Moore. That's near impossible to block one of those. You just got to throw your body out there and do the best you can. Nolan the fourth is from Fort Worth, Texas. 1-0 the count on him. Foul ball out in front of that off the end of the bat. He had an RBI double his first time up in the second inning. One and one the count. 2 outs now. Runner at second base. It's a high fly ball into left center. On the run is the center fielder with Brady, and Brady runs that down. The Blue Devils get 1 run on 1 hit. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Blue Devils leading 2-0. Pitching change has been made by the Blue Devils. Number 30, Donovan Johnson will come in. He is from Spring Hill, Kansas. I have an update on that part of the roster. So he comes in relief of Caleb Deere. Back to the top of the order, Beck, Moore, and Custer. Beck is from Kansas City, Kansas. That misses a little bit outside, so 2-0 the count. Beck struck out his first time up in this second game. There's a strike called, 2-1 the count. Blue Devils with one in the second, one in the fourth. They lead 2-0 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Breaking ball, and that's going to be fouled into the trees and across the road. Two balls, two strikes, nobody out as Beck leads off the bottom of the fourth for the Panthers. There's strike three called. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. That's going to bring up Moore. Moore is from Shawnee, Kansas. He flew out to Kern in center field his first time up. He's had the catching duties both games yesterday and both games so far today. That misses a little bit up or out one, not sure which. 1-0 the count. That falls a little bit low. 2-0 the count now. Blue Devils leading 2-0, bottom of the fourth inning action. Scheduled 9-inning game. First game of the doubleheaders are a 7-inning, and then the follow-up game is a 9. There's a foul ball back to the screen. The only exception to that is anytime the first game goes extra innings, regardless of how many innings, it cuts the second game back to a 7. But that is not applicable in this situation. 2-1 the count. This one will be a 9. There's a breaking ball that he's way out in front of, but 2-2 now the count. Breaking ball, check swing, ruled a ball. So 3-2 the count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and an out. To the catcher, Cody Moore. High fly ball, that's going to be out of play. Just about 6-8 feet from the car that was coming by. So we'll do the 3-2 again. Fouls that one away. So the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming from presumably Donovan Johnson. That's outside for ball 4. So a 1-out walk. Johnson has a 7.09 ERA, 3-1 record on the year. That's going to bring up Custer. Custer flew out to left field his first time up. Custer is from Chanute, Kansas. He takes a ball, 1-0 the count. Cold, windy, overcast day here in Chanute, Kansas, on the campus of the Neosho County Community College Panthers. There's a little nubber right back up toward the pitcher. Going to go to first base with that for the 1-3 ground out from Johnson over to Santiago for 2 outs now. It's going to bring up Brendan Fry. He grounded out and assisted to Santiago at first base his first time up. Fry is from Fort Collins, Colorado. He'll step in with 2 outs and nobody on here in the bottom of the 4th inning. His Panthers trailing 2-0. That's up a little bit high. 1-0 the count. There's a strike called, 1-1 the count. 2 outs, runner at second base is Moore. He moved up after the base on balls after the little nubber out of Custer's ground ball. He moved to second base. 1-2 the count. The high fly ball on the infield. Who's going to come in and take care of it? Mervosh comes in from third base. So sky high was that pop-up. No runs on, no hits for the Panthers, and we go to the top of the 5th inning. Blue Devils leading 2-0. All right, to the top of the 5th inning we go. Blue Devils leading 2-0. Derek Olson will step in. There's a swing and a miss of that first pitch. Olson is from Westminster, Colorado. That's outside. One and one the count. It's a high fly ball to left field, shallow left field. Coming in to take a look at that is Hannibird. Hannibird takes care of it for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Brady Kern. Kern is from Lawrence, Kansas. He'll step in with 1 out and nobody on. He had a line drive. There's a strike call. He had a line drive to Westerman his first time up. 0-1 the count, 1 out. Blue Devils leading 2-0 here in the top of the 5th. Going to the count now. Robertson with the pitch. That's up high. 1-2 the count now. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. So back to the top of the order and Basler. Basler was hit by a pitch in the first, grounded out unassisted to Custer at first base his second time. He'll bat here with 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the 5th. That falls a little bit low for ball 1, 1-0 the count. Want to know the count. There's a strike called 1-1. Two and two the count now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. On the second baseman, Peyton Basler. That's outside. So 3-2 the count. So ball headed into left field. Hanneberg coming over to take care of that. So a couple of fly outs and a strikeout. No runs on, no hits for the Blue Devils. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Blue Devils leading 2-0. We're halfway through this one. Thanks for joining me. All right, to the bottom of the 5th inning we go. Rodriguez, Brady, and Westerman scheduled up for the Cardinals. Low and outside that first pitch to Rodriguez. Rodriguez is from the Dominican Republic. There's a ground ball into left field, so there's the first hit of the game for the Panthers. That'll bring up Davin Brady. He struck out his first time up. Brady is from Topeka, Kansas. He's up there with a runner at first and nobody out. Fouls that first pitch away. Owen won the count. Struck out his first time up. Squares to bunt early. And takes ball outside. 1-1 the count. Runner at first base is the second baseman, Rodriguez. He had a base hit into left field. Squared to bunt again, and that ball's down low. 2-1 the count. Halfway through this one, bottom of the fifth inning, 9-inning scheduled game. Blue Devils 2 runs on 2 hits, no runs on 1 hit for the Panthers. There's the bunt, and that's going to be foul. Donovan Johnson on the mound from Spring Hill, Kansas. Little toss over to Santiago at first. Back in safely is Rodriguez. Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. 1 on for the Panthers. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. So Brady strikes out for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Westerman. Westerman was called out on strikes his first time up in this one. Westerman is from Derby, Kansas. Another toss over to first. Nothing much going on over there. Low and inside. 1-0 the count. So ground ball at Basler. Basler's going to have to get it quick. 0-1 the count. Owen won the count, 2 outs. There's a ball headed on the line into right field. Dirks decides to take that on the hop. And Rodriguez scores the run on the RBI by Dallas Keyser. So that's going to bring up Hannaberg. Hannaberg is from Wichita, Kansas. Two to 1 now the score. It's a swing and a miss. Blue Devils 2 runs on 2 hits. Panthers 1 run on 2 hits. There's a strike called. 0-2 the count. Runner at first base is Keyser. He had the RBI base hit. Way back behind him. That's a wild pitch right there. Hanneberg hit into a 4-3 double play. Keyser was coming by and tagged by Basler and then over to Santiago for the double play. There's a foul ball back to the screen, so staying alive is Reed Hanneberg. Just reached out and got a piece of that one. We'll do the 1-2 again. Another wild pitch, that ball. Olsen tried to backhand and it just got past him. Curveball that was way outside. So runner now at third base. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Both teams with 2 hits. It's outside. So 3-2 the count now. Everyone is pretty much straight up except for Brady Kern. Kern is playing over in right center. There's a high chopper. Basler's going to have to charge and get that one, and he does. So the 4-3 ground out. So the Panthers get 1 run on 2 hits. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Blue Devils leading 2-1. All right, 2. Top of the 6th we go. There's a strike taken by Mervosh. Mervosh, Gobeck, and Patterson scheduled up. Robertson back for another inning of work. There's the bunt, and that's going to be in the air for a bit, and then the spin takes it foul. So Mervosh will come back and have 2 strikes on him when he gets there. Mervosh leading things off here in the top of the 6th for the Blue Devils. Narrow lead, 2-1. Way outside. 1-2 the count. Mervosh, the third baseman for the Blue Devils. Hanneberg, Brady, Fry across the outfield for the Panthers. Westerman, Beck, Rodriguez, and Custer with more behind the plate. Way outside and all the way back to the screen. Cameron Robertson on the mound. He's from Galena, Missouri. Two balls, two strikes. That's inside. So the count goes full. It's a high fly ball to left field. Hanneberg sizes it up and squeezes it for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Goldbeck. Goldbeck's been called out on strikes and popped out into shallow left field to Beck at shortstop. There's a strike called right down the middle at the belt. Goldbeck's up there with one out. There's a line drive that was headed for left center and taken by Beck. So Beck takes the hit away from Goldbeck. It's going to bring up Patterson. Patterson has been out on a fly ball to center field and hit by a pitch. Whistles that one right to the backside of Coach Goldbeck down at third. Patterson sent Brady a long way to left center his first time up. Then he was hit by a pitch. There's a strike called 0-2 the count. Comes the 0-2. Curveball gonna just get over the top of me. So we'll do the 0-2 again. Breaking ball way outside. 1-2 the count. One ball, two strikes, two outs. 2-1 lead for the Blue Devils. There's a ball headed into left field. Patterson with the 2-out base hit. That'll bring up Santiago. Santiago has grounded out to the first baseman and had a base hit to right center. He's up there with 2 outs and a runner at first. There's a ball headed to deep right, back to take care of that. And on the warning track and then into the wall is Fry. So Santiago sends it deep, but not quite deep enough. So the Blue Devils get a hit, but no runs. We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Blue Devils still clinging to a 2-1 lead. Beck has struck out twice in this one, once swinging, once looking. 1-0 the count on him. There's a strike outside half of the plate at the knees. 1-1 the count. It's a foul ball back to the screen. One ball, two strikes to count as Beck leads off the bottom of the sixth for the Panthers. Breaking ball in the dirt. 1-2 the count. Just misses a little bit outside. Does that breaking ball? So the count goes full on the shortstop. Jameson Beck. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. That's going to bring up the catcher, Cody Moore. He's been out on a fly to Kern in center and then walked. So 0 for 1 in this second game. 1 out, bottom of the sixth inning action. Strike at the belt right through there. On 1 the count. Breaking ball. Check swing ruled a ball. Check swing executed. So says the first base umpire. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1 run lead for the Blue Devils. There's a ball headed into center field. That's going to be down for a hit. So a 1 out base hit by Moore. That's going to bring up Custer. Custer's been out on a fly to center field and grounded back to the pitcher. So for 2 in this second game. There's a high fly ball to right field. Coming in is the right fielder, Dirks. And Dirks takes care of that for the second out of the inning. It's going to bring up Fry. Brendan Fry, he's 0 for 2 in this game. He's grounded out to Santiago and popped up high on the infield to Mervosh, about halfway between third and home. That's up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. It's outside. 3-2 the count now. And there's ball 4. So the 2 out walk. That'll push Moore down to second base. Fry will be at first. That's going to bring up Rodriguez. He's walked and had a base hit. His base hit was between Mervosh and Goldbeck in the hole at third. There's that foul ball back and over the top of us. On the count, 2 outs. There's a ball to Mervosh. Mervosh will race over and touch the bag for the 5. Unassisted ground out. No runs on 1 hit for the Panthers. Blue Devils lead. We go to the top of the 7th. They lead 2-1. I'll be back. Pitching change has been made by the Panthers. There's a strike called on Marcus Dirks. Connor Wolf from Lafayette, Colorado, misses for a ball. 1-1 the count. Lefty on the mound from Lafayette, Colorado. He has a 2-0 record. He's pitched 21 innings pitched and is yet to give up an earned run. There's a ball off the pitcher, and so Connor Wolf takes it off of the body and then underhands it over to Custer for the out. That's going to bring up Freddie Nolan, the 4th. That's outside. Nolan, the 4th, has an RBI double and a fly out to center field. There's a strike outside corner at the knees. Connor Wolf on in relief of Cameron Robertson. There's a strike called. Robertson goes 6 innings, gives up 2 runs. That's way outside. Top of the 7th inning action. Blue Devils leading 2-1. Each team with 3 hits. There's a high chopper down to Coach Goldbeck. There's another ground ball over to the left side. Dirks and Nolan the fourth. There's a base hit into right field. Dirks and Nolan the fourth with the 2 RBI for the 2 for the Blue Devils. There's a base hit by Nolan the fourth. And Kieser with the RBI, the lone RBI for the Panthers. Olsen at the plate. It's in the dirt. Olsen is grounded out to the shortstop and popped out on a fly ball to left field. So 0-2 in this one. 1-0 the count. Runner goes, and the one hopper he could not handle could Rodriguez. So Nolan the fourth with the stolen base. One ball, one strike, one out. 1-run lead for the Blue Devils. Blue Devils with 1 hit more than the Panthers. There's a ground ball right back up the middle. Off the glove of the pitcher, off the glove of the second baseman. And Beck is thinking that if Rodriguez doesn't touch that one, that he probably makes the play, but that's going to be an infield hit for the Blue Devils. It's going to bring up Brady Kern. Kern's been out on a line drive to Westerman at third and struck out. That bunt is foul. A 1-1 that count on Kern. Squares to bunt, and it's foul again. On to the count on Brady Kern. Kern trying to get the squeeze home down. Couldn't so far. That's in the dirt, blocked nicely by that catcher Moore. So it appears as though the bunt is off. Unless it's put back on, we'll see. 1-2 the count. It's a high fly ball into shallow right field. Out to take care of that is Rodriguez. So back to the top of the order. Peyton Basler will now move over to the right-handed side to face the lefty. The new lefty on the mound is Wolf. That forces the switch hitter to move to the right side. Basler is 0-for-2 with a hit by pitch. There's a strike, catches the outside corner. Oh, and 1 the count. Runners at the corners with 2 outs now. That's inside and headed to second base and coming back home. And the ball is not there again. Twice today, it appears as though there's going to be an out, and the ball was not secured by the catching staff of the Panthers. So the Blue Devils now with the 3-1 lead. See if that goes up on the board. There it is. 3-1, and there's the bunt. And the bunt is going to be, so it's going to be called a foul ball. So Coach Murray will come out and suggest then that it should be an out rather than a foul ball. So the home plate umpire will visit with the field umpire to see if Coach Murray has a case. I was looking down at third base when it all happened, so I did not see what he's referring to exactly here at home. Top of the seventh inning action, 1 run in by the Blue Devils to make the lead 3-1. So 1-2 the count. Comes the pitch. That's in the dirt and nicely blocked by Moore. Basler at the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2-run lead. There's a high chopper toward Westerman. Westerman will have to hurry, and it's there for the 5-3 ground out. So the Blue Devils get 1 run on 2 hits. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Blue Devils leading 2-1. If you'd like to make a donation, all donations go directly to the broadcast for the Blue Devils. You go to 4ts.com. There's a donation page there. Any donations are appreciated and go for Blue Devils baseball. All right, Brady Westerman and Skeezer scheduled up. Turns on that one and whistles it between the coach down at third and third base. Davin Brady at the plate. He has struck out twice in this game. 0-1 the count on him. Swings through that breaking ball from Donovan Johnson. There's a one-hopper to Mervosh. He loads up the rifle and shoots it across to Santiago for the 5-3 ground out. 1 out now in the inning. It's going to bring up Luke Westerman, the third baseman. He's been called out on strikes and then grounded out to Basler at second base. There's a strike inside half of the plate at the knees. Bottom of the 7th inning action, Blue Devils leading 3-1. Swing and a miss of that pitch. So 0-2 the count. Comes the 0-2. A little bit low and outside. One and two the count. Panthers with one out here in the bottom of the seventh. They trail by 2. Curveball in the dirt. 2-2 the count now. It's a foul ball. So Westerman earns another pitch. It's outside. Breaking ball. Little check swing by Westerman to keep from going down. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Swing and a miss of the high heater for the strikeout. That's going to bring up Dallas Skeezer. He's been hit by a pitch and has the RBI on a hit into right field, the lone run by the Panthers. He's up there with 2 outs. There's a strike called at the knees on the outside corner. Donovan Johnson on in relief of Caleb Deere. That's down low. 1-1 the count. Nolan the fourth, Kern and Dirks across the outfield. Mervosh, Gobeck, Basler, Santiago across the infield. Olsen behind the plate. Johnson on the mound. Breaking ball sprayed over the third base dugout. Over toward the parking lot. Way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Blue Devils lead by 2. Just misses a little outside. So 3-2 the count now. Swing and a miss, so a ground out and a couple of strikeouts. And the Panthers go 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 7th. We go to the top of the 8th. Blue Devils leading 3-1. To the top of the 8th we go. Blue Devils with a 3-1 lead. Mervosh, Golbeck, and Patterson scheduled up. Lefty Connor Wolf back for another inning of work. There's a strike called against Mervosh. Mervosh hit into a 5-4-3 double play, grounded out to third base and been out on a fly to left field. There's a ball headed into left center, and Brady runs that down for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Gary Golbeck. Golbeck, the shortstop. He's been called out on strikes. Popped out into shallow left field to Beck. And hit a line drive that was caught by Beck at shortstop. 1-0 the count. There's a one hopper back to the pitcher. He runs it a third of the way over and underhands it. So Wolf over to Custer for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up Brady Patterson, the designated hitter. He flew out in the second to center field, was hit by a pitch in the fourth, and had a base hit into left field his third time out. So 1-4-2 in the second game. That misses outside 1-0. Blue Devils leading 3-1 here in the top of the eighth inning. That's a little bit low. 2-0 the count. Fly out and a ground out for the first two outs of the inning for the Blue Devils. There's a strike called outside corner at the knees. There's another base hit into left field, just like the last one, right between third and short. So a two-out hit for Patterson. And Santiago will move over to hit from the right-handed side as a switch hitter facing the lefty Wolf. Runner goes, and safe is Patterson with the stolen base. 1-0 the count. Just got a little piece of that, fouls it back to the screen. 1-1 the count now. Not sure where that missed. That was a pretty good looking pitch right there. 2 balls and a strike to the first baseman, Frankie Santiago. That's down low. So 3-1 the count. The ball headed down the right field line toward the dugout, the bullpen area, and foul. So 3-2 the count. There's a ball headed into right field. Coming for home, the throw is going to be here and out at home. A nice throw from right field on the fly from Fry. 2 more to get Patterson at home. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Blue Devils leading 3-1. All right, to the bottom of the 8th inning we go. Blue Devils leading. Going to have a pinch hitter. Saban Seeger will pinch hit here as he did in the first game. He takes low for ball 1. There's a strike called. Seeger is from Derby, Kansas. He started the day batting .257. 1-1 the count on him as he leads off here in the bottom of the 8th. There's a strike right through there. So 1-2 the count on the pinch hitter, Saban Seeger. Breaking ball breaks outside. 2-2 the count. Seeger leads off the bottom of the 8th inning here. 9-inning scheduled game. There's a swing and a miss for the strikeout. So back to the top of the order, and Jamin Beck. Beck will step in. He has struck out 3 times in this one. There's a ground ball headed to right field, but it's cut off by Basler. And the throw and out. So Basler clear out into shallow right field, spins into Santiago for the 4-3 ground out. What a nice play by Basler. So that's going to bring up Cody Moore, the catcher. He's 1 for 2 with a fly out, a walk, and a base hit. In this one, he's up there with 2 outs. It's a foul ball headed down a play down the right field line. Great play by Basler out into shallow right field. Check swing. Ruled a ball. 1-1 the count. 2 outs now. Bottom of the 8th inning action. Blue Devils with a 3-1 lead. Swing and a miss of that breaking ball. So 1-2 the count. On the catcher, Cody Moore. High fly ball into shallow right field. In comes Dirks, calls off Basler, and Dirks takes it for the final out of the inning. No runs on, no hits. We go to the top of the 9th inning. Blue Devils leading 3-1. All right, to the top of the ninth we go. Dirks, Nolan the fourth, and Olson scheduled up. There's a strike. Catches on the outside corner. Dirks is 0 for 1 with a RBI sac bunt. There's a ball headed into left field. That's going to be a base hit. So 1 for 2 now in this game after that base hit. That's going to bring up Nolan the fourth. Nolan is 2 for 3 with an RBI double, a fly out, and a single and a stolen base. Takes low for ball 1, 1-0 the count. Blue Devils trying to get some insurance here. 3-1 lead. There's a strike on the outside corner. 1-1 the count. Blue Devils 3 outs away from the sweep of the Neosho Panthers. There's that ball over to first. Nothing going on over there. It's outside. 2-1 the count. Runner goes. There's a ball headed into left field. And that's going to be a base hit. And into third base is Dirks. So off with the pitch. And then the base hit into left field. So 3 for 4 is Nolan the fourth. Olson will now come to plate. I missed if we had a pinch runner at first. I'll bet that we did. I need to catch the number on it. Pachorik with that duty in the first game. So I looked in to do some book work and I missed out on that. So nobody out. Runners at the corners and Olson at the plate. That misses. Low and inside, 1-0 the count. That's inside for ball 2. Pachorik is running at first. There's a strike called. 2-1 the count. Pachorik is from Aurora, Colorado. Pinch running at first. And he's going, and the ball's in the air. Pachorik will have to hustle back. We're going to get a play at home. And coming home with the sac fly. So Olson with the sac fly to get one insurance run. So that'll bring up Kern. The score now 4-1 on that sac fly. And Pachorik with the stolen, Pachorik with the stolen base. So the top of the ninth. Have the sac fly. Fellas, that was a sac fly. It's 4-1, correct? Scoreboard not yet put up the fourth run. Thank you from the the pitching staff in front of me here working, I can ask them a question, and there's a ball headed to deep left center. On the run to take care of that is the center fielder Brady, and into third on the fly. So that's the second out of the inning by Kern to Brady in center field. Center field, Brady has covered a lot of ground today. So back to the top of the order, and Basler. He'll step in on the right-handed side facing the lefty. There is a strike called. Basler is 0 for 3, was hit by a pitch and grounded out a couple times and flew out once. That's going to be a wild pitch and score a run. So the wild pitch allows the run to score. Now it is 5-1. Basler at the plate. There's a fly ball headed down the right field line. Probably going to get into the bullpen area, and a foul ball. So 2 runs in the inning. Blue Devils scored 1 in the second, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the seventh, 2 here in the ninth. Lone run for the Panthers was in the fifth. That's outside. So 3-2 the count now on the second baseman, Peyton Basler. There's a ground ball headed at the second baseman, Rodriguez. He's up with it and over to Custer for the 4-3 ground out. The Blue Devils get 2 runs on 2 hits. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Blue Devils leading 5-1. All right, the pitching change has been made by the Blue Devils. Caleb Reed will come in to try and salt this thing away. The Blue Devils with a 5-1 lead. He's from Olathe, Kansas, and he will step onto the mound. He has a 2.95 ERA. His record is 2-0. He will face, scheduled to face Custer, Fry, and Rodriguez. Custer is 0 for 3, a couple of flyouts and a ground back to the pitcher. There's a curveball, catches the inside corner. Blue Devils 3 outs away from the sweep. 2 games yesterday and the second one here today. That's behind the batter and all the way back to the screen. So 1-1 the count. Dirks moves over to left field. Pachorik is in right. Check swing. Ruled a ball. 2-1 that count. That's low and inside, so 3-1 the count. So Pachorik, Kern, and, Dirks, Kern, and Pachorik. And that's a base on balls. Across the outfield, infield, the same. Mervush, Gobeck, Bassler, Santiago with Olsen behind the plate. And Reed on in relief for Johnson. It's going to bring up Fry. Fry is 0 for 2. Ground out and a fly out and a walk. There's a strike called. So a runner at first base with nobody out. Fry at the plate, 0-1 the count on him. That misses inside. 1-1 the count. Blue Devils leading 5-1 here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Here's strike 2 called. Low and outside, nicely blocked by Olsen. Two and two the count. Comes the 3-2. It's a base on balls, so back-to-back base on balls. Going to get a visit to the mound from Coach Goldbeck. Rodriguez will be up when we come back. All right, runners at first and second. Rodriguez comes to the plate. He reached on a base on balls, had a base hit, and grounded into a fielder's choice to Mervush. That's ball one, outside 1-0 the count. Caleb Reed on in relief of Johnson. There's a strike inside part of the plate. Sure, coach's point to him was, hey, throw strikes, make them hit the ball. You got defense behind you. Walks kill us. 1-1 the count. That's runners at first. And Davin Brady comes up. He is struck out twice. We're going to get a pitching change. We'll get that information. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Pitching change made by the Blue Devils. Number 21, Will Bartkowski comes in. He has a 5-0 record. His ERA is 1.85. That is with 24 and a third innings pitched, 16 appearances to earn that 1.85 ERA and 5-0 record. He's from Seneca, Kansas. He inherits the bases loaded, although all the runners on the bases will be the responsibility of Reed. Davin Brady will be up. He struck out twice and grounded out as a reminder. Blue Devils with the 5-1 lead. The tying run is at the plate. Will Bartkowski comes in to try and douse the fire. And Bartkowski hits Brady to make it a 5-2 game. It's going to bring up Westerman. So 5-2 now the score. There's a strike on the outside corner. So the winning run is at the plate. The tying run is at first. Still nobody out. There's a foul ball back to the screen by Westerman. So what looked to be like a game well in hand is now looks a little differently with the winning run at the plate. It's outside. 1-2 the count. Westerman has been out on strikeouts twice and grounded to Basler at second base once. That just misses a little bit up. 2-2 the count. There's a foul ball back into the net, so we'll do the 2-2 again. Two balls, two strikes, nobody out. Bases full of Panthers. They trail by 3. There's a ball all the way back to the screen. And so the wild pitch scores another run now. So now the score 5-3. There's outside ball 4. So that loads the bases back up. We're going to get a visit to the mound. Keyser is scheduled up. We'll see if there's any changes made. I'll be back. right, the pitching change has been made again by the Blue Devils. 5-3 now is the lead. Gavin Killian, number 14, will come in. He's from Hughesville, Missouri. He has a 2.89 ERA and a record of 2-0 on the season. He inherits the bases loaded and still nobody out for the Blue Devils. The Panthers have scored 2 in the inning to make it a 5-3 game. Dallas Keyser will come to the plate. He's the designated hitter. He's been hit by a pitch, had an RBI base hit and a strikeout. So he will be the first to face Killian when play resumes. And here we go. 5-3 the score. Killian will step in with nobody out. And the bases full of Panthers. Way outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count, nobody out. Bases loaded with Panthers. There's a strike, catches the outside corner. So 1-1 the count on the designated hitter, Dallas Keyser. Swing and a miss of that breaking ball. Good looking pitch right there. 1-2 the count. Outside for ball 2. 2-2 the count. Killian on in relief of Bartkowski. Breaking ball catches the outside corner for the punch out for the first out of the inning. The winning run is at first base. 1 out. It's going to bring up Seager. Seager struck out at his first attempt on as a pinch hitter. 1-0 the count on him. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Seager at the plate. It's another breaking ball fouled down by the coach of the Panthers at third base. So 1-2 the count on Seager. Keyser was called out on strikes for the first out of the inning. So there's a foul ball back to the screen, so 1-2 the count. So we had walk, hit by pitch, walk, and a K. So 1 out, 1-2 the count now. A high fly ball to deep left field and back to the fence, and the catch is made by the left fielder. So the sac fly by Seager sends Dirks back to the wall, and now it is a 5-4 game. So 2 outs, runners at first and second. That's down low, back to the top of the order, and Beck the shortstop. That just misses for 2-0. Jamin Beck at the plate, the shortstop. So 5-4 now the lead. 3-0 the count. Tying run is at second base. Winning run is at first. And there's a base on balls. So that's going to bring up Cody Moore, the catcher. He's 1 for 3 with a base hit and a base on balls. Killian on the mound. Bases are loaded. Winning run is now at second base. That ball's high and inside. Looked like it got a ruffle of his shirt sleeve there, but not ruled a walk or a hit by pitch, 1-0 the count. Blue Devils need an out. There's a strike, 1-1 the count. Panthers trying to get this thing tied up or to walk it off. They trail by 1. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 1-1 the count, and Cody Moore, the catcher, at the plate. Breaking ball catches the inside corner. So 1-2 the count. So down to the last strike are the going to get another visit to the mound. All right, wisdom has been imparted. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. There's a foul ball. So Cody Moore, the catcher, earns another pitch. Tying run is at third. Winning run is at second. 2 outs, 2-2 the count. Killian on the mound. It's a high fly ball into shallow left field. The left fielder comes on to take it. So the Blue Devils get the final out that they need to finalize this one. The Blue Devils win 5-4 and 9. Not the prettiest way to end the sweep, but nonetheless the sweep. So that's the final here. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to make a donation, go to 4ts.com. There's a donation page there. If you make a donation, any donations go directly to the broadcast of the Blue Devils baseball. That's it for this one. The final is 5-4. We have a game on Tuesday. I'll plan to bring that game to you. I believe it is at KCK. That's it for today. Have a great evening. Blue Devils finalize the sweep with this last game, 5-4. We'll catch you on Tuesday.